आदिल्ला सप्तम कविते 22 पुनः पुनः पियाइया होई मोहामतो
पुनः पुनः पियाइया होई मोहामतो
नाचे कान्ने हंसगा जैसे मद मतो
नाचे कान्ने हंसगा जैसे मद मतो
पाता पातो विचारो नहीं नहीं थाना थाना
पाता पातो विचारो नहीं नहीं थाना थाना
जय जहाँ पाता थोड़ी प्रेम दान
लेइला पायता हरे प्रेम दान
लोटिया खाइया दिया अनारो झाड़े
लोटिया खाइया दिया भंडारो धरे
आश्चर्य भंडार प्रेम शतगुण मारे
आदर्श भांडार प्रेम सर्वगुण हारे
पुनः पुनः प्याया होय महामत्त नाचे कांदे हास्य गाय जैसे मदमत्त Sri Panchatattva themselves danced again and again and thus made it easier to drink nectarian love of Godhead. They danced, cried, laughed and chanted like madmen, and in this way they distributed love of Godhead. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. People generally cannot understand the actual meaning of chanting and dancing. Describing the Goswamis, Sri Srinivasa Acharya stated, Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Parau. Not only did Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates demonstrate this chanting and dancing, but the 6 Goswamis also followed in the next generation. The present Krishna consciousness movement follows the same principle, and therefore simply by chanting and dancing, we have received good responses all over the world. It is to be understood, however, that this chanting and dancing do not belong to this material world. They are actually transcendental activities. For the more one engages in chanting and dancing, the more he can taste the nectar of transcendental love of Godhead. Swadhan kariba. Patra patra vichar nahi nahi sthana sthan, jai jahan paye tahan kare premadan. In distributing love of Godhead, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates didn't consider who was a fit candidate and who was not, nor where such distribution should or should not take place. They made no conditions. Wherever they got the opportunity, the members of the Panchatattva distributed love of Godhead. Who dare to speak against the mission of Lord Chaitanya by criticizing the Krishna consciousness movement for accepting Europeans and Americans as Brahmanas and offering them sannyas? But there is an authoritative statement that in distributing love of Godhead, one should not consider whether the recipients are Europeans, Americans, Hindus, Muslims, etc. The Krishna consciousness movement should be spread wherever possible, and one should accept those who thus become Vaishnavas as being greater than Brahmanas, Hindus or Indians. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu desired that his name be spread in each and every town and village on the surface of the globe. Therefore, when the cult of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is spread all over the world, should those who embrace it not be accepted as Vaishnavas, Brahmanas and Sannyasis? These foolish arguments are sometimes raised by envious rascals, but Krishna conscious devotees do not care about them. We strictly follow the principles set down by the Panchatattva. A pseudo-incarnation of Krishna once told his disciple that he had emptied himself by giving him all knowledge and was thus spiritually bankrupt. Such bluffers speak in this way to cheat the public, but actual spiritual consciousness is so perfect that the more it is distributed, the more it increases. Bankruptcy is a term which applies in the material world, but the storehouse of love of Godhead in the spiritual world can never be depleted. Krishna is providing for millions and trillions of living entities by supplying all their necessities. And even if all the innumerable living entities wanted to become Krishna conscious, there should be no scarcity of love of Godhead, nor would there be insufficiency in providing for their maintenance. Our Krishna consciousness movement was started single-handedly, and no one provided for our livelihood. But at present we are spending hundreds and thousands of dollars all over the world, and the movement is increasing more and more. Thus there is no question of scarcity. Although jealous persons may be envious, if we stick to our principles and follow in the footsteps of Panchatattva, this movement will go on unchecked by imitation Swamis, sannyasis, religions, philosophers or scientists, for it is transcendental to all material considerations. Therefore those who propagate the Krishna conscious movement should not be afraid of such rascals and fools. I will speak some English now. Here Kaviraj Goswami says how this Panchatattva plundered the storehouse of love of Godhead and distributed its contents indiscriminately. This wonderful storehouse is so complete. As the love is distributed, the supply increases hundreds of times. Supply increases hundreds of times. There is no scarcity at all, no insufficiency at all. This is wonderful symptom, wonderful characteristics of this Prema, transcendental love of Godhead. Prema, the storehouse is so wonderfully complete. The more you give, the more it increases. If you won't give, it will decrease. The more you give, the more it will increase. 100 times, 1,000 times it increases. But in material world, the more you give, the more it will lose, it will be empty. But in the spiritual world, this is the reverse. Especially this Prema, transcendental love of Godhead. The more one gives, the more the storehouse increases. This is wonderful. There is no scarcity at all. And my revered spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada Maharaja, has purport has said how these rascals, those who are ignorant fools, rascals, they say, they criticize us, but they cannot understand this thing. The store are so complete that as the love is distributed, the supply increases hundreds of times. You understand? And this is proof here. The members of Krishna consciousness movement throughout the world, chanting, dancing, distributing Prema, printing books and distributing Prema. And more it increases. How Prabhupada Maharaj said, he started single-handedly this movement, now it increases, so many devotees are coming, spreading day by day. That was the desire of Srimad Mahaprabhu, that in all towns, villages, cities, all corners of the world, This Prema Nama Sankirtana, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord with love and spirit is being done now. The members of this Krishna conscious movement are doing that thing. And this Prema Nama Sankirtana, that Gauranga Mahaprabhu freely distributed along with the constables, all the devotees, this praying through name. Therefore, we every day, now when we, before reading Srimad Chaitanya Charitamrita, we chant this thing. Jannaptam karma nishtendata samadhigatam jattapadhyana jogir vairagi stagatat stuti virapi nasat kirtan chapi kaishit Govinda Prema bhadanga pinas kalitam tadrasyam swencha namaneva pradrasidapatarati parijapati naumi yoram. You see. Before the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prema Purushottama Sacinandana Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this prema was not so known, you see. Those who is engaged strictly in Varnashram Dharma, following the principle of Varnashram Dharma, strictly acting, working, he cannot get prema. One who is strictly, rigidly following the principles of austerity and penance, Ashtanga Yoga, Dhyan, meditation, he cannot get prema. Because no prema is there. Those who are strict renunciates, they also cannot get prema. Those who offer prayers, still they cannot get prema. Those who give up the results of their work, karma tyaga, they also cannot get prema. This was not known to such persons. But as soon as Prema Purushottama Sacinandana, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu appeared, he gave this prema through chanting this holy name, and he distributed freely, indiscriminately. I go down to such Gaurachandra Pranam. So one must understand this thing, how Srimad Mahaprabhu is distributing freely, indiscriminately this prema with Ponstattva, all his devotees, one and all, through the chanting of Hare Krishna, this Prema Nam Sankirtan. This Nam Sankirtan is known as Prema Nam Sankirtan. Do you understand?